There is a moment in every person's financial journey when something almost magical happens. One morning you open your account with the usual expectations. You think you will see the same slow progress as always. But today, something is different. The number is higher than you expected, and you did nothing special to make it happen. Your money seems to be moving on its own. It is growing even when you are not working. This is not luck, and it is not a secret trick that rich people hide from everyone else. It is simply the power of time and steady growth. Wealth does not rise in a straight line. It rises in waves and stages. There are three major turning points when compound growth changes from quiet and invisible to strong and unstoppable. And once you pass each stage, the way you think about money will change forever. If you have been saving and investing and still feel like progress is slow or disappointing, this message is for you. Because once you understand these three stages, you will finally see how ordinary people, not celebrities or trust fund kids, build lasting wealth quietly and steadily. You will understand why patience, not talent, is the real unfair advantage. Let us begin with the stage that feels the hardest but also matters the most: the first $100,000. Many people believe the first 100,000 is just a simple percentage of a million. It sounds small when you look at the big picture. But in reality, this first step is the hardest part of the entire journey. It is slow, tiring, and often frustrating. And yet, it is the foundation for everything that comes later. In the beginning, almost all the money in your account comes from you. You are saving from your paycheck. You are cutting your expenses. You are investing even when it feels boring. And this stage feels like watching a seed grow in a dry field. You water it every day, but nothing seems to happen for months. Imagine you invest $500 every month with a reasonable 7% yearly return. It is a responsible and realistic plan. Even with this plan, reaching your first $100,000 takes almost 8 years. Yes, 8 years of discipline and effort. It feels slow because it is slow. But something important is happening below the surface. Almost half of that first 100,000 came directly from you, your hard work, your choices, your commitment. The rest came from growth, the quiet partner that will soon take the lead. At this early stage, compound growth is still small. It is working, but it is working in whispers, not in shouts. This is why the first $100,000 is the real entrance ticket to the world of wealth. It is the period where you build habits that last a lifetime. You learn how to stay patient, how to keep going even when the results are not dramatic. These habits matter far more than the money itself. When you reach that first milestone, compound interest finally wakes up. From here, your money begins to help you instead of you helping it, and everything becomes a little easier. Now you begin the next stage, the stage from $200,000 to $400,000. Once you reach the first 100,000, the math starts to work for you instead of against you. And this is where many people give up, not knowing how close they are to the turning point. Remember how long the first 100,000 took? Almost 8 years, but the second 100,000 takes only around 5 more years. That means you reach 200,000 in almost half the time. This is the moment many people call the snowball effect. You push the snowball for years and suddenly it begins to roll on its own. After about 13 years of steady investing, your account reaches around $200,000. What is interesting is that you put in less than half of that amount yourself. The rest was created by growth. This is often the moment when people feel shocked. They realize their money is now doing more work than they are. Keep going, and by your 18th year, something surprising happens. Your total may reach around $400,000. Only a small part of this came from your own pocket. Most of it was created by time and returns. At this point, your investments may be making around $28,000 a year without you lifting a finger. That is the income of a strong part-time job. And this job never gets tired, never gets sick, never needs a break. This is when wealth building begins to feel powerful instead of slow. The work you did during your early years is finally showing results. Now you reach what many people call the power zone. The power zone arrives around $650,000. At this stage, something important changes not only in your account, but also in your mindset. People at this level begin to understand what financial freedom really means. It is not about luxury cars or expensive holidays. It is about having choices. If you have $650,000 invested and it grows at around 8% a year, it produces over $50,000 in income. This income arrives whether you are working or not. It is not enough to quit your job completely, but it is enough to make you feel safe. Losing your job stops being an emergency. Unexpected problems stop feeling like disasters. Your investments become your security net. More importantly, your relationship with risk changes. You can consider new paths, new goals, or new dreams. You can take time to study something new or travel for a while. You can start a business or change your career. You can breathe easier because your money supports you. This is when many people finally understand that real wealth is not about buying things. Real wealth is about buying time. When you reach this zone, you begin to live differently. You think differently. You move through life with a sense of calm and control. And from here, the final milestone becomes much easier to reach, the famous $1 million mark. Many people dream about becoming a millionaire, but reaching 1 million is not about being special or lucky. It is about staying consistent for a long time. If you keep investing your $500 every month with a 7% return, you will likely reach $1 million in about 29 years. That may sound long, but it is the natural result of discipline plus time. When you reach $1 million, something deeper than money changes. It shows that you can build wealth from zero. It shows that you did not need shortcuts, gambling, or risky bets. You did not need perfect timing. You simply stayed on the path long enough to let compounding do what it always does when we let it breathe. The best part is what happens next. On say you reach your first million, every new million becomes easier. You only need your wealth to grow by half to reach 1.5 million, another half to reach 2 million. And from 2 million to 3 million is the same simple step. This is why people say money makes money. Not because they are lucky, but because their dollars are working full-time in the background. Of course, some people worry about market crashes. It is normal to fear losing money, but history shows something important. If you keep investing regularly, downturns can actually help you. When prices drop, your monthly investments buy more shares. When the market recovers, those extra shares grow even more. Long-term investors understand this and stay calm during rough times. They know that patience is more powerful than fear. Wealth building is not about predicting the perfect moment. It is about staying in the market long enough for the math to work in your favor. If you stay steady, the numbers will take care of themselves, and your future self will be grateful for your discipline. Let us look again at the 3 financial moments that change everything. The first 100,000 is when growth wakes up. Around 650,000 is when your money begins buying you time. The $1 million level is when you truly understand freedom. These stages are not only about numbers, they are about how you grow as a person. They teach you patience, discipline, and self-control. They show you that slow and steady action can create big results over time. A powerful truth remains. The years will pass whether you invest or not. 10 years will come. 20 years will come. 30 years will come. The only question is what your future self will see when they look back. Will they see someone who hesitated or someone who started and stayed committed? Begin with small steps. Stay consistent. Let time lift the weight for you. If this message helped you understand how wealth truly grows, remember to share it with someone who needs encouragement. Financial freedom comes from clarity, discipline, and the quiet force of compound growth. In the end, the journey to wealth is not just about numbers on a screen. It is a journey of character and growth. It teaches you how to trust the process even when you cannot see immediate results. It reminds you that the greatest rewards in life often come from the quiet decisions you make every day. Saving when you could spend, investing when you feel uncertain, staying calm when others panic. These choices build a future where you can live with confidence, independence, and freedom. Wealth is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming the strongest version of yourself. And every dollar you invest is a vote for the future you want to create. So keep going, even on the slow days, even when progress feels invisible, because one day you will wake up and realize your future has already arrived, and it was built by every patient day that came before.